There is a slight, confusion here. What is the value of ambition in one's life? Why, or is it at all important to have ambition? And if we don't have a certain goal in our mind, then again, a goalless life, is it worthless?
No, the question is not whether there should be a goal. The question is, where is the goal coming from?
What if you very strongly feel about what you desire or your ambition is?
Where is the feeling coming from? Ambition is desire. Desire will have goals. So ambition, desire, goal, target, they all belong to the same family, don't they? The question is, where are those targets or goals or ambitions coming from? I strongly feel to have something. Where is that feeling coming from? Do I really know? And if I don't know, then it's an empty and blind feeling. It could be physical conditioning, it could be a social imprint, it could be anything, but for certain, it's not me.
So give me an example of purposeful ambition. How would that come? How would someone know that this is my own original, authentic self, which is aspiring to get a certain thing?
When you are clear with the facts of life. When you are not just saying, I feel like doing it, and somebody asks you, but why do you feel like doing this? You say, no, it just feels good. It's an emotion, it's an instinct, or it's an intuition that this must happen. This kind of vague and hazy expression is a strong indicator that you are coming from an inner place of ignorance. You don't have facts, you only have feelings. That's one thing. The second indicator is, when you want to achieve things and you find that the achievement would benefit only you or your inner circle, then probably there is a problem. When you are coming from a place of clarity, you can still have goals. Goals or ambitions or targets are not a problem. The place they are coming from might be the problem. When you have the right place to set goals from, then your goals are rarely just for yourself. You find that they benefit everybody in general, and not just your species, sometimes all other species. So there are indicators.
Can we say that sometimes our ambition is also, let's say, it gets roots in our heart and mind from what we have been through? I'm just going to quote a random example. A boy who's lived his childhood in poverty and has managed to get education to make it big in life. Let's say he's become a graduate or whatever, and his ambition is to earn big numbers, big bucks, so that his family doesn't have to live in that poverty. The future generations don't have to do that. Is that the right way of having an ambition? Or again, that's affected?
He's reacting to his past.
Okay.
And in that sense, he's again spoiling his life. There is poverty that can spoil your life, and there is plenty that can spoil your life.
So what do you advise to such a person?
What if that person has a special talent for arts? I understand if the family is still poor, he needs to provide for them. But the fact remains that real needs, actual needs, do not take much. You ought to provide for your family, that's fine. But it's not that in reaction to abject poverty, you then unleash a spree of accumulation, which is often the case. And people narrate it with pride. They say, I come from such a poor background and now I have millions. No, sir. This is just a reaction, and you have spoiled a lot of things for you. Yes, poverty is not something that we want to be there. But at the same time, we do not want the opposite of poverty. I come from a background where, let's say, the father was what you can call as a weak man. Weak man. And as a son, I suffered because the father was weak, not assertive, not dominating, not powerful. That was my sense. and I feel I suffered because my father was that way. So when I beget a son, I become an authoritarian. That's a reaction. You're allowing the past to dictate your present and your future. In the opposite way. See, the past extends itself, but in very curious ways, sometimes as a continuity and sometimes as an opposite. Because we have been a very tolerant people in the past and suffered because of that. So let's now become very jingoistic, very bigoted, and very violent. That's a reaction. So that's not the way. The way to ask yourself is, I value this thing so much. Where did I learn to value it, and when and how? Who told me that such a thing is actually valuable? It's a very important question to ask. I'm investing myself fully in this. It could be a job, it could be a belief, an ideology, a relationship. You want to build a house and you're investing yourself totally into it. You want to have a bigger car. You want to settle abroad. You have desires. You have something. Or you are a missionary. You are investing yourself into it. It pays to ask this question, right? Where did this thought come to me from? Is it really mine? Have I investigated it?
But Acharya Ji, tell me one thing. When we are all young, every child has a set of parents who first initial years, maybe even till the time you become a teenager and become more assertive and start identifying yourself, you are told by your parents, right? That, oh, you are very active, you'll be good in sports, or I see you making good dance moves, you'll be a good dancer. Why don't you try this activity class, that activity class? And that drives a child towards a certain potential. Or somebody's good in maths, oh, you will be a very good banker, so pay more attention to this, and etc. For those young listeners right now, what would you say is the right age to identify your true self? Is there an age to it? Is there a process to it? When should they realize that, okay, now I've done enough what my parents were telling me to do. I should come out of that circle now.
It's a process, and it starts at a very early age. And that's the hallmark of right parenting. To start that process as early as possible. I would say 3 years, 4 years, 5 years,
That
7
young.
years. That young. I mean, why shouldn't you talk to the other as a conscious being? Right? Okay, do you understand this? Do you like this? Why? I'm keeping 4 things in front of you. Do you want to choose? Okay, why did you choose this one? Wow. And how is this choice different from the one you made yesterday? You remember what you chose yesterday, by the way? No, mama. Okay, yesterday you went for the apple and today the grapes. Okay, what has changed between yesterday and today? Actually, my friend was eating grapes. Okay, so fine. So because the friend was eating grapes, so today you're going for the grapes? Yeah. Okay, so you really admire your friend? You want to emulate your friend? No, she is not very good. Okay, if you don't admire her, why are you emulating her? I didn't see that, mama. You see, it can start very
So
early.
encourage an inquisitive mind.
Yes.
At a very early age.
Yes, and let there be no holy cows. Nothing you have been told is too sacred to be questioned. You can question everything. You can ask any questions. There is nothing forbidden. That has to be the attitude. Take nothing as sacred. Yes, you are told a lot of things. Take them as things told, not as things absolute. There is nothing absolute about life here. All of it is a construct. And all constructs stand vulnerable to questions, the right questions. Where does it come from? What are its limits? To what extent do I cooperate with it?
So we've spoken about how an early start is important. It can play a big role in, shaping someone's personality in the longer run. Is there a point of no return as well? Is it too late ever?
Practically, there is a point of no return, but I don't want to admit it. I would rather want to fight it. But practically, yes.
There is.
It happens that there is a line, there is a threshold. And if you have crossed that, it requires then a superhuman effort to redeem you. It requires energy beyond imagination to pull you back. Don't cross that line. But at the same time, it is inhuman to accept that there exists somebody or a lot of people, or maybe most of the population of this planet, that has already crossed that line. I don't want to admit that. I want to fight on. But practically, yes, that's true. There is a line, and one should be conscious enough to never cross it. Once crossed, difficult, very difficult. Just that it's not a random action or a stray episode, this crossing of the line. It's a progression. You move towards that boundary, you inch towards it day after day.
Yeah.
And then slowly, gradually, the thing worsens to a point of no repair, no return. You become incorrigible, and like life scraps you. It's just so ugly to even mention and so hurtful to see. I don't want to admit it.
So practical advice is to identify it before it's too late.